Years since people started illegally occupying parts of the railway line in the Western Cape. In fact, to date, little has been done to relocate them. But the Standing Committee on Public Accounts wants PRASA management to explain its inaction. MPs conducted an oversight visit of rail infrastructure in the province. Several stations and lines are inoperable because of vandalism, theft and illegal occupation. Nyanga, Langa and Philippi are some of the most affected places. Our senior reporter Ayesha Ismail is on that story. She joins us live right now. All the stakeholders, Ayesha, were hauled before Parliament today. What happened?
Well, as you said in your introduction, yesterday they held a site visit to the affected areas, and today the various stakeholders, and the stakeholders include the City of Cape Town, PRASA, the Housing Development Agency, the National Department of Human Settlements, as well as the Department of Infrastructure. All of them had to come to Parliament today to come and account and to tell members of Parliament and SCOPA exactly what it is that they have been doing to solve what has become a crisis. It's a crisis because of the people who use the trains, 40% of the people rely on that central line, the line which includes people coming from Khayelitsha, Mitchell's Plain, Nyanga, Langa, Kapteinsklip, are all being affected due to no services or a limited service. And it is for this reason that SCOPA wanted these stakeholders to come and tell SCOPA exactly what it is that they have been doing. Sadly, it would appear as if they've been talking past each other, and this is despite the fact that all these groups, all these stakeholders have signed an implementation protocol to work together to, for instance, to find land, to deal with the relocation of people, the City of Cape Town to deal with rezoning, all kinds of issues that they needed to work out. But clearly today, from what we witnessed in SCOPA, they were pointing fingers at each other and were clearly talking past each other. But this is what the CEO of PRASA had to say to the meeting this morning.
The risk, and this is from their side, that they will be there without any plan of how they will be being dealt with. It's also a risk for PRASA. I need to state that, because the land that we are relocating them to is still within the rail reserve. And therefore it remains a temporary interim solution, because you cannot settle people permanently within your rail reserve. So we need to get that long-term solution in terms of where, and I think the enumeration has been done in terms of the numbers, where we need to relocate the impacted settlements on a permanent basis. As I've mentioned, there's a willingness to move at this point in time. We are in daily discussions with the affected, with the community leadership around us. We are planning to start this within the next week or two.
Ayesha, during the SCOPA meeting, has there been any progress made, or are there any solutions that they're speaking about?
From what I heard today, William, clearly no solutions right now. As I said, it would appear as if people are talking past each other, and it is for this reason that the chairperson of SCOPA once again appealed to all the stakeholders to get together and to find themselves and to work together, because he says you signed an implementation protocol, you entered into a contractual agreement to deal with the resettlement of people on the railway lines. He says what needs to happen as a matter of urgency is for the trains to start running again. But in order for that to happen, people need to be relocated. But well, what's also happening is that there are now more than 5,000 people that need to be, or rather more than 5,000 households that need to be resettled. It's going to cost hundreds of millions of rand to resettle people temporarily. This is not even to settle them permanently. And so members of parliament were also asking, but why do you want to spend so much money to resettle people on a temporary basis when you could be building houses for these people? But this is what the chairperson had to say to the committee.
So after all is said and done, the point of departure is that I just want all of you to know that we view yourselves as having failed the protocol. No, the central line must be open, we agree, but it's as if you are negotiating now the protocol, trying to re-engineer it and refocus it to achieve other goals and outcomes that we don't know. You know what this will lend us to? It will lend us to the original sin of this matter. The inability to take the correct decisions. Variation orders are coming to a lapse. You will find you are building irregularity on top of irregularity. I find this to be the most unprofessional working relationship I've encountered in government.
That's Mkhuleko Hlengwa there, the SCOPA chair. Clearly not happy, Ayesha. What is the way forward?
So as you say, the chairperson clearly not happy, so much so that he has asked that the stakeholders who were present today, that they return to SCOPA on the 27th of July. And he actually went further to say that he is going to apply for a deviation to Parliament to allow the sitting to take place during the recession, or the, when they take their when MPs go on a break. And he also says that even if it means that the stakeholders need to come to SCOPA once a month until such time that they reach a solution and that they make progress, so be it. This is what he had to say.
I mean, this is the whole thing about rezoning. I'm not expecting the city of Cape Town to be saying we are awaiting a rezoning application. I'm expecting that we together are doing a rezoning application because of the gravity of the situation. My only conclusion is that the failure of this project has got a benefit down the line. For who I don't know at this point. But we have seen this kind of thing of throwing a javelin for yourself. The majority of our people continue to find themselves at the periphery of economic activity. And the linkage to that is the railways. This morning we were speaking about traffic coming here, saying that, oh, the roads are flowing much better because the schools are closed. You've taken 12 million passengers out of the roads. The headache of Cape Town traffic, amongst others, exists because the railways are not moving, because you're bringing everybody here to work here, because that's where the opportunities are.
That was senior reporter Ayesha Ismail. Thank you so much for making time to chat to us this afternoon. That's a wrap of the first hour of today.